Well, it's been a really good start to the baseball season for Center, and especially for you, Rob. 2-0, 23 strikeouts and 15 innings, only giving up one earned run. I mean, kind of what's been going so well for you and the team?
Well, it's been great to see the team perform so well. We know we worked really hard all off season. We've taken advantage of some teams that we should beat, which is always good. You got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, which we've done so far. As far as myself, just putting a big emphasis on throwing strikes, and we've got a much better defense behind us this year, so it allows me to really just go out there and throw strikes. And I've been fortunate enough to get quite a few strikeouts early on, but we'll see if it keeps going.
Looks like the team's offense is better this year too, which I'm sure is a pitcher's best friend.
Right. The last couple of years, it's been tough. I'll go out and not throw necessarily my best game, but throw a pretty good game, and there are other teams' aces throwing, so we haven't been able to score a lot of runs. But early on this year, we're not going to go out and score probably 10 runs very often, but our guys, our lineup's pretty balanced, and we come through some pretty timely hits. And when you can do that and pitch and play defense, I mean, you can beat anybody. So we feel pretty good about how things are going.
Well, they know they don't have to score 10 runs. I mean, you're not supposed to give
Right.
them 10. I mean,
Right.
you
That's
can't
true.
expect them to
Hopefully
get 10.
not.
Yeah, I was going to say, and also, of course, you had a really good baseball career at Danville High School, and even then you were always a pretty big strikeout pitcher. Why is that? I mean, when you look at you don't look like a guy that would just be an overpowering strikeout guy. But why is it you've always been such a good strikeout guy?
I think it's kind of a mentality I have. Sometimes it can come back to haunt me, where I'll end up throwing too many pitches because I'm trying to strike a guy out instead of just letting him hit a ground ball. But I think, I can throw the ball pretty hard, and then I've got a pretty decent curveball, and then I've added with Patrick Cooper, our new hitting coach, new pitching coach, excuse me. He's helped me develop a slider just in the first few weeks he's been with us. So having those pitches, and then I have a changeup that I don't use a whole lot, but it's just kind of like I said, a mentality thing, which can come back to haunt me. But it's just one of those things I kind of like striking people out. So it's just I don't know. It's just how it always has been for me, I guess.
Well, what works.
Right.
I can remember how excited you were coming out of Danville when you signed to go play Division I ball at Davidson. So what got you from Davidson to Center?
Well, Center was a lot of people don't know it, but Center was a very close second to Davidson. Obviously, first I wanted to get a great education, and then if I could also play a high level of baseball, that was something I wanted to do. So Davidson, great school, Division I baseball, but Center was a close second. I wasn't going to go to a Division I school just to play Division I baseball. Like, no offense, but I wasn't going to go to an Eastern or somewhere. I wanted to get a really high quality education. So my first year at Davidson, some things just on the field and off the field weren't exactly right. So I wanted to make the switch to come here, and I knew if I was going to leave, I was going to come here. And it wasn't necessarily because it's in Danville, but as far as schools in Kentucky, it's the best school in the state, and I knew I could play baseball here. So those two things together, it was a pretty easy decision when I knew I wanted to change schools.
You say it wasn't because it was in Danville. A lot of times I think that sometimes keeps people from here staying in because they want to be away. So why has it been good for you to be able to come back home and go to Center College?
Well, I know what you mean. There's a lot of kids that we do lose from in Danville and Boyle County that don't want to go here because it's in Danville. But at Center, you're kind of in your own little world. I mean, you can see, I run into people I know from town or that my parents know, but you're kind of, like I said, kind of in your own little world. You can be as far away as you want. I don't have to go home. I probably talk to my parents, honestly, less now than I did when I was at Davidson. I mean, it's just, I think it's, just such a great school. The campus is great. The people are awesome, the kids and the faculty and staff. So I just think, I would never tell a kid that they should look to go somewhere else from if they're thinking about going to Center from Danville just because it's in Danville. I think it's a great school.
So what's going to kind of lie ahead for you after baseball? I remember a few years ago when I spoke to a class, you were in Danville. I was sure you were going to be a sportscaster or sports writer, but I guess you kind of changed your aspirations since then.
Well, when baseball's over, I'm going to pursue trying to play baseball after college. But when that is over, I'm going to eventually go back and get MBA, and I'd like to do something in the sports world, whether it's coaching originally or it's working in the front office for a team. I think that would be my dream job would be to be the general manager of the Atlanta Braves, but obviously it's tough to get there.
Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it, right? No, you got to know a lot of people, and so starting out, it's just all about networking, and built a little base, but that would be my dream job. So we'll see how I get there. I mean,
well, the one plus I would think you would have going is baseball has become such a business and statistics-driven sport that sometimes it's opening some doors for some type of people that, a center education could come in pretty handy.
Yeah, I actually saw an article today. I'm a big Braves fan, obviously, and they were talking about how they've put such a big emphasis on analytics, and they're hiring all these guys that are coming out of Ivy League schools, and there's some pushback on that because they might not necessarily know the game as well, but if you can say that you know the game and then also combine that with high education, good education, then I think those two things will look good on a resume.
Now there's one thing that you managed to do, and I need to know your secret on this, because obviously it's worked for you and not for me. In high school, you weighed about, 175?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here, you weigh about 200. Mm-hmm. But you still look good. I mean, what do you do to put on that weight and it still doesn't really look like you put on that weight? I mean, that's a secret I need to know.
Well, to be honest, I think a lot of the weight went to my legs. I'd worked out. Of course, Coach Morris at Danville does a good job with us, but I never really lifted weights really like how you're supposed to. So a lot of that went to my legs, which is, as a pitcher, is, a lot of your velocity comes from your legs. So I would say, I've obviously bulked up a little bit up here too, but it's just been a good, Coach Cooper again, he's done a great job with us lifting, and then in the past we've had our other assistant coaches done a good job as well, and at Davidson they did a good job with me to kind of, jumpstart me, but yeah, I've put on some good weight. Not all of it's good, but for most part I think it is, so.
Well, it's all working well. You're 2-0. The team's 7-1. Good luck to you the rest of the season, Rob.
Awesome. Thank you.